Socio-Economic Right and Accountability Project SERAP has asked the government of President Muhammadu Buhari to immediately take meaningful steps to implement several judgments obtained by SERAP against the federal government to raise money to fund the budget, reduce the growing level of borrowing and address the escalating rule of law crisis in the country. SERAP made a call at a media briefing on rule of law crisis, how persistent failure to obey court judgment makes Nigeria more vulnerable to corruption. A senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, who presented SERAP law report to the public, expressed surprise that the federal government took a swipe at SERAP for going to court to challenge acts of corruption and official impunity. He said it was strange for a government that professes to practice rule of law to challenge the act of going to court by the citizens. Falana also tasked the media not to allow reactionary political class to sell its agenda to the country.
If you know those who want to run, you must begin to ask now, what is your agenda for dealing with insecurity in our country? How do you want to take every child out of the street? How do you want to ensure that nobody goes abroad for medical treatment? And then the permanent darkness in our country. Unless you ask these questions, if you do that, you are setting the agenda for the development of our country.
SERAP, at this event, we've highlighted more than 7 judgments that SERAP has obtained against the government, and none of them is yet to be enforced. And this is just from SERAP. There are other judgments out there. And these judgments, you would recall, basically promoting transparency and accountability. So how serious is the government position on fighting corruption if we have judgments of courts that call on government to do the right thing and prosecute perpetrators, recover funds, and such judgments are not enforced?